So one of the things I wanted to talk about was the biggest, I wanted to respond to one of the biggest sort of themes that I hear in answering that question about what is the number one thing you're struggling to stay on track with. And that is really around this sort of on again, off again, right? This on the wagon, off the wagon, this I do really well all day and then everything falls apart at night. Or I do really well all week and then I go crazy and binge on the weekend. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that. Now it's a big topic and we're not going to get into all of that today. And there's a lot of layers and a lot of tools and a lot of strategies that I use to help my students and help my clients get out of that habit and that frustrating, maddening pattern of on again, off again. But I just wanted to kind of zoom out a little bit today and just talk about something sort of more foundational around that. And that is really this notion of taking back your power. Okay, so this just might be I just wanted to offer this as kind of a different way for you to think about this on again, off again relationship that we so often have with food. Okay, so let's just put aside for right now how to kind of the strategies and tools to actually change that, because we're going to get into that and the challenge is going to help you with that, and so does some of the other work that I do. But let's just zoom out today and just talk a little bit about something deeper, about a deeper issue that's going on when we do this on again, off again. And sometimes I know I like to think of it, I like to think in analogy, it's just the way my brain works. And I think about this idea of, it kind of feels like you have that angel and devil on your shoulder, right? The devil is like, have it, eat it, have it, you deserve it. You can start again on Monday, right? What's one gonna hurt, right? Have one more bowl of ice cream. You deserve it. It's fine. It doesn't matter anyway, right? And then there's the angel on the other shoulder that's like, no, you shouldn't. You should eat something healthier. That's going to make you feel bad. You want to take care of your health. You want to lose weight. This isn't the way to do that, right? So we have this angel and this devil. And I know that you guys can relate to this feeling. I think that we all can. So it's like, have it, don't have it, have it, don't have it. And we generally side with the devil, right? Because it's a lot more appealing. And at an even deeper level, when we side with the devil, it's the little devil on our shoulder. It's like we kind of feel like we're winning a little bit, right? Like we pulled one over on that goody two shoes angel over there, who's always like, no, you shouldn't eat that, and you should have vegetables instead, and right, and the devil just seems a lot more fun, and it feels a little bit like we're winning, and it's sort of like, nah, like stick our tongues out, right? Like we're kind of winning. And there's a little bit of it's almost like a toddler behavior, really, because it's sort of like digging our heels in and like throwing a little tantrum and like, you can't make me, right? And that's kind of the dynamic that we often have going on. And again, we end up siding with that devil because it just feels, that devil on our shoulder just feels so much more appealing and so much easier and so much more fun, right? Who doesn't want to have the ice cream instead of the herbal tea, right, at night? So when this angel and this devil on our shoulder, we very often side with the devil, and thus we make the choices that we make and we get the results that we get, right? And we're not happy with that. So the thing is that little devil on your shoulder is very sneaky, right? He's not just fun and games and let's whoop it up and have ice cream. He's very sneaky. And what he's actually doing when he kind of seduces you in with all the fun and the let's just relax on the couch and you deserve it and you can start the diet on Monday and what does it matter anyway because you never lose the weight and, all the things that he chirps in your ear. Very tempting, very alluring, very seductive. He's very sneaky because it feels like he's on your side, right? Like it's you and me against that goody two shoes angel. And you're like, yeah, let's go have the ice cream and show that angel a thing or two. But what that little devil is really doing on your shoulder is asking you to sell your soul, right? What that little devil on your shoulder is actually doing every time you side with him against the goody two shoes angel is he's taking a little bit of your power away, right? She's taking a little bit of your power away. And I liken this to, the sort of the old lady that sits at the slot machines at the casino, right? And she's just been there like for 4 hours and she's not leaving because this is her machine and she's got a good feeling about it. And she's just sticking money in there, or she's swiping her card, or whatever you do these days. And she feels like she's winning. Like she knows this is her machine. She has a feeling and she's winning. She's going to win. Like it's just around the corner. She's going to win, right? And really, she's just losing, right? Because we know the casino always wins, the house always wins. So really, she feels like she's winning. She feels like she's pulling one over on the man, but she's actually losing, right? She's actually giving away her money all night long, right? And we're doing the same thing when we side with that little devil on our shoulder. We feel like we're winning. We feel like we're getting a treat. We feel like, yeah, I deserve this, right? After everything I do for everybody and after the day I've had and all the stuff that's going on in my life, I deserve this. And yet what we're actually doing is just giving away our power, right? We're just giving away our power. And we end up just feeling awful. And I don't just mean physically awful, right? You know what I'm talking about. We don't just feel sick and bloated and fat. We feel ashamed and embarrassed. And we know deep in our soul that we've given up our power to the ice cream, right? To the potato chips. We know that. We might not know it in those words, but we know that we somehow lost, right? It's like that lady at the slot machine that leaves the casino and she was really sure she was winning. She was really sure. She felt really good about it. And then somehow she walks out to the car 7 hours later and she's like counting through her wallet and all the money's gone, right? She didn't actually win. And the casino and that little devil on your shoulder, they're very good at making you feel like they're on your side and we're all having fun and we're bringing you free drinks and we're having a good time and you deserve this and it's Friday night and all those things like, yeah. And then all they're doing is just taking and taking and taking your money, taking your power. And just like that angel and that devil in your brain, you have those two pieces contradictory as well, right? You have that sort of ancient reptilian caveman part of your brain, and you have the more modern prefrontal cortex rational part of your brain, right? So that ancient reptilian caveman part of your brain is afraid of everything, right? Afraid of everything, afraid of the stress at work, afraid of the hard conversations you should probably be having with people in your life, afraid of the bills, afraid of all the stuff. And all it's trying to get you to do is to be small, sit on the couch, don't do anything scary, don't make sure that you're using foods that will sort of help you numb out, help you go on autopilot, help you go mindless for a little while, because that feels very safe, feels very familiar, feels very comfortable, right? And so that reptilian part of your brain is like that devil on your shoulder, right? And it's always trying to get you to play small, hide, be safe, right? Eat the food because it feels good and it lets you numb for a little while, right? It feels very safe. Anything that's sort of like cocooning, like a little turtle, right? That's what that ancient part of your brain wants you to do, because all it cares about, and this is the great biological reasons for this, you're hardwired for this, at least that part of your brain is fear, right? It's just afraid of everything. It's just trying to keep you safe. Just trying to keep you safe. So for it, everything is a threat, including stress, including boredom, including loneliness, including knowing that you need to have a difficult conversation with your husband, but you're not willing to do it, right? All of those things are terrifying for that part of your brain. And so it knows that if you can eat some ice cream, shut down, watch Real Housewives of New York City, it's all going to feel better. All that fear is going to go away, right? For a few minutes. And so that old ancient part of your brain, it's like that devil on your shoulder. But again, what it's doing is slowly and secretly robbing you of your power, right? And so you have that ancient part of your brain saying, have it, just like the little devil. And the more modern, rational prefrontal cortex of your brain, just like the little angel saying, no, that's not the choice we want to make, right? I have other goals. I want to lose the weight. I want to feel better. I want to avoid illness. I want to be the person that I know I could be. I want to step into being that woman that I know is inside of me. I want that for myself. And so I want to make a better choice, right? And so again, we have this sort of juxtaposition of these two voices in our head, right? And so again, that ancient part of your brain wants to keep you small. But what it leads to is it leads to those behaviors like overeating, like mindless eating, like emotional eating, anywhere where we're using food to manage these uncomfortable and somewhat sometimes scary feelings. It just leads to all the things we don't want, right? It leads to physical discomfort. It leads to weight gain. It leads to chronic health issues. And more than that, it leads to this soul sickness, right? That maybe we can't even put our finger on, or maybe we don't have the words for, but it's this deep knowing that we're not being the person we know we could be. Does that make sense? So, and that is the worst, right? I think worse than the weight, worse even than physical health issues, although those can be devastating, worse than all of those is this soul sickness, this deep, dark knowing inside of you that you are not being the person you could be, that you are not living your full potential, that you are living a portion, a shadow of the life that you could be living, and that time is ticking, right? That's the worst, I think. I think that's the worst. And that is what, that little devil on your shoulder, that ancient prehistoric part of your brain, that is where they are leading you, right? That is where they are leading you. And by following them, you are giving them your power. You are handing over the reins of your life to them. You are putting them in the driver's seat, and you are just riding the bus further and deeper into that sort of soul sickness. So instead, I want you to start thinking about how you can reframe the story that you have in your mind about making healthy choices versus unhealthy choices, how you can start to reframe that into what's really going on, right? So it's not that sometimes so often we buy into the story that the little devil on our shoulder is telling us, which is that making the healthy choice is hard and I don't have time and I hate doing that and it's no fun and I don't like those foods and, it's just yucky and I don't want to do that. And life is more fun when I'm eating cupcakes and sitting on the couch, right? Instead of that narrative, right? That's all that is. That's a story that you have. The choices themselves, the healthy food versus the junk food, those choices, those foods are nothing but molecules, right? I say this all the time. The food is just molecules. Some groups of those molecules serve your body better, right? Some groupings of those molecules are more nutrient dense, are more bioavailable to your body, and will nourish and serve your body at the highest level, right? That's what some of those molecule configurations will do. Other molecule configurations cause inflammation in the body, are like poison to the body, break things down in the body, drain us of energy, right? But at the end of the day, they're just molecules. And so anything else that we wrap around them, easy, hard, fun, not fun, good, bad, that's all up here, right? That is all a narrative. That is all a story. And so when we create a story around those choices where the molecules that are good for us, the molecules that serve us, are hard and no fun and taste gross and I don't have time and all of those things, right? And again, I'm not suggesting that we aren't all busy and that time is an issue, right? Of course, that's something we need to work on. But But the biggest thing we need to work on is the story that we have around that. And the story that we have around the poisonous molecules, let's call them, the junk food, is that it's fun, that it's a treat, that I deserve this, that that it's easy, that it's desirable, that it's my favorite, that I'm addicted to it, that I can't say no, right? These are stories. These are narratives that we have created. I know that at some level they feel very real because we've often been repeating them 100 times a day for decades. And so they feel very real. We literally have neural pathways now in our brain formed around these stories. They feel very true. But what I'm asking you to do, what I'm urging and encouraging you to do, if you want to change this, is to start to think about how you can rewrite that story, okay? Because you have to create a story that gives you your power back, that puts you back in the driver's seat. So I want you to think about seeing how making the healthier choice, the scarier choice, right? It'll always be the scarier choice to that ancient reptilian part of your brain that just wants you to numb out on the couch, go into autopilot, right? Just shut down those uncomfortable feelings. Let's just numb those out with ice cream and reality TV, scrolling through the iPad, right? Let's just numb those things away. It's always going to be scarier. But that path less traveled, that somewhat scary, maybe uncomfortable path, is the path towards true autonomy, true freedom, true free will, and the path towards creating the life that you know that is inside you, is waiting for you, right? At some level, that there is a woman inside of you that naturally makes those choices, that lives the life that you want to live, that is doing the things that you want to do, that is inspiring other people, that is impacting the lives of the people that she cares about, right? And maybe even beyond. That woman is inside of you, and you know that. And the path towards that is always going to be the more uncomfortable path, right? The path less traveled. But that is the path where your power lies, right? And you can choose that path. And I want you to start thinking about that path not as hard, not as I can't do it, not as I don't have time, not as it's no fun, I don't like those foods, whatever, right? The goody two shoes angel, blah, blah, blah. And I want you to start thinking about that path instead as your birthright, right? Your everything that you deserve and everything that you want in life is on that path. And it's a gift, right? Doing those things, making those choices, taking the harder path, sitting in the discomfort a little bit, feeling the feelings. It is a gift. It is the most beautiful gift you can give to yourself. And we have to start thinking about it in that way. If we have any hope of following that path, of turning away from that little devil on our shoulder, of overriding the old reptilian caveman part of our brain, if we have any hope of doing that, we have to be willing to take that uncomfortable path. And the only way to do that is to start reframing it as a gift, as the truest act of self-care and self-love. Okay? It's the only way. It's the only way to take back your power and start creating the life that you want for yourself. It's the only way. Okay? So this is mindfulness at its best, right? This all comes full circle to the mindful eating challenge. Mindful eating is a beautiful act of mindfulness, but this awareness of these old stories and this old narrative that you have going on and the path that it's been leading you down and choosing something different is the ultimate act of mindfulness. Okay, so this is where mindfulness really begins, is starting to notice these old narratives, these old stories. Okay, so I want you to start thinking about that. I would love to hear your thoughts. Let me just look. I think there's some comments here. Really I'm just sorry. Let me just turn down my volume here. Oh, hello. Just joined, and I really want to believe that woman is there. She just seems so far away. Sometimes, or I know, I hear you. Yes, she is there. You know she's there. I don't need to tell you guys that, right? I I think sometimes, and I get a little emotional when I talk about this because I really care about this. You know that she's in there, right? You know she's in there, that woman that you want to be, that woman that makes the choices that truly nourish and fuel your body. Sorry. I apologize. I don't mean to get so emotional, but I really care about this. I really care about this, and I really care about you guys getting this. That woman that stands in her power, that makes the choices that truly nourish and honor her body, and who shows up in a way that inspires others and impacts others, you know she's in there, right? I know sometimes it feels like she's far away. Sometimes it feels like she's just other people have her. But I think if you really tune in, you know that she's already in there. You don't have to go outside. She's already there. I know that she's buried deep down. I know that the mean voice has been running the show for so long in your head that you don't feel like you can maybe access her anymore, or maybe you feel like you've totally lost touch with her and you can never get her back. But I promise you that she's there and that she's closer than you think she is. I promise you she's closer than you think she is. And I'm sorry for crying. Okay. Oh, good. You feel how I care. Yes. And because I'm just crying like a crazy person on my Facebook Live. Okay. Anyway, whatever. Okay. So I want to leave you with that, you guys. I want you to think about that. And I would love to hear your thoughts about this. This is a great conversation starter because, this might not be a way that you have thought about this in the past, right? So often when we're talking about a relationship with food, we're just talking about carbs and calories and protein and macros and keto and paleo, and I don't even know. I can't even keep up with all that stuff anymore. But what I know for sure is that is not the answer, right? Those are tools. Those are great tools. I'm not against any of those things. Fantastic. And I have other nutritionist colleagues that can totally work with people to dial in their macros and get you on a keto diet or whatever works for you or whatever. Those are tools, right? Great tools, useful tools. But unless you are in the place where you can use those tools, right? If you are still giving your power away and you are not standing in a place of truth and groundedness and clarity and mindfulness, then those tools are not helpful, right? Those tools are just Band-Aids. They're just things to hide behind. They're just things to distract you. They're just things to make you believe that you're kind of making progress for 21 days or whatever. You're not getting down to the deep root, the foundation of what's really going on here. And so unless we do that work, which is what I'm so passionate about, which is what makes me cry when I'm doing these videos, is unless we do that work, none of those tools are ever really going to serve us long term, right? We're not really going to be able to be consistent. We're not going to be able to sustain any of those things because we're always just going to be sabotaged by these old thoughts, feelings, habits, and patterns. Make sense? All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts below. So please, let's start a conversation. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer any questions and talk more about this as we go forward. Okay. And I'm super excited about the challenge coming up. Can't wait to get started with you guys. I will be in here a fair amount this week, just kind of seeding your brains with some new ideas and getting the momentum going and the excitement going for the challenge that starts on September 10th. And again, if you haven't signed up for the challenge yet, I will leave the link in the comments below so you can join us. It's totally free, and it's going to go from September 10th to the 14th. Okay, talk to you soon, guys. Bye.